Hi guys. Okay, so earlier this week we learned about a butterfly's life cycle. We learned that a butterfly starts off as an egg, then out of the egg comes the caterpillar, and then the caterpillar wraps itself up in a cocoon and becomes a pupa, and then after about 2 weeks, the butterfly starts to hatch out of the chrysalis, and it has wings that flutter, and it becomes a butterfly. So today we're going to learn about a different animal. The butterfly started as an egg and became a butterfly. And now we're going to look at how a frog starts out. Frogs don't always look this way. They start as eggs just like butterflies. So we're going to read this book and see all of the changes that a frog goes through until it becomes a grown-up. All right, so the title of this book is From Tadpole to Frog. The author of this book is Wendy Pfeffer. That means she wrote the words in the story. The illustrator is Holly Keller. That means Holly Keller drew all of these illustrations, all of these pictures. They were illustrated by Holly Keller. Are we ready to start reading? I hope so. Do you have on your listening ears? All right, here we go. From Tadpole to Frog. This is Frog Pond. But where are the frogs? Do you see any frogs here? I don't see any frogs. When the winter winds whistle, the frogs hide. They sleep at the bottom of the pond in the soft mud. Frogs hibernate in their hideaway all winter long. When they hibernate, that means they sleep for the whole winter. After the ice melts, flowers appear. Birds return, and pond creatures wake up. Spring has arrived at Frog Pond. Winter's over, spring is here. Here are the old frogs stretching their legs. Can you stretch too? I'm stretching my arms and my back. So the frogs stretch their legs. At night you hear boom, boom, boom. The males that are calling to their mates. Thousands of soft eggs cling together in the cool water. In about 10 days, the eggs hatch. The pond comes alive with thousands of tiny tadpoles. They wiggle their tails. Can you wiggle your tail? And breathe underwater with gills, just like fish. During the summer, the tadpoles swim about eating water plants. These are the tiny tadpoles. That doesn't look like a frog, does it? They're tadpoles. These are what came out of the eggs. But water beetles, snakes, and birds are eating too. They're eating tasty tadpoles. Oh no. When fall comes, look carefully in the water. Are there any tadpoles left? I hope so. Do you see tadpoles? Do you see leaves? Let's see what happens next. Look here. Are they tadpoles or wet leaves? They're brownish speckled tadpoles. You see them? Hundreds of them float by with the brownish speckled leaves, eating and swimming and swimming and eating. The tadpoles grow fat. When winter winds blow again, they burrow under the mud at the bottom of the pond. It means they swim and go deep into the mud. They do not eat. They do not move. They just sleep. When spring sunshine warms the tadpole's world, they awake And guess what? They are hungry. So they swim and eat and eat and swim. And tiny hind legs begin to sprout. Their hind legs begin to grow. They grow longer and stronger while their tail becomes shorter. Do you see they're growing these little legs? And their tails are getting smaller. Tiny front legs begin to show, just like up here. The tadpoles look like long-tailed frogs. All summer, the tadpoles change more and more. Their lungs develop. You can breathe in and feel it in your lungs. And more. Mouths and eyes grow larger and more until they become frogs. When their tails disappear completely, they are no longer tadpoles. Now they use their strong legs and webbed feet to swim instead of their tails. Tadpoles use their tails to swim. Frogs don't have tails anymore. They use their legs and their webbed feet. Now they can rest on lily pads and leap onto land. The frogs flick out their long, sticky tongues and capture worms, spiders, and dragonflies. Dragonflies also flutter their wings, just like butterflies. They flap their wings very quickly. Now, where are the frogs? Can you find the frogs? There they are. 1, 2, 3 frogs hiding behind the reeds. Slowly, the days grow colder. Winter winds blow. Birds fly south. Once again, the pond creatures hibernate. That means they sleep for the entire winter. Where are the frogs now? Do you remember where the frogs go when it's winter? That's right. Let's look at the beginning of the book. When the winter winds whistle, the frogs hide. They sleep at the bottom of the pond in the soft mud. So where are the frogs? That's right. They're at the bottom of the pond in the soft mud. The end. So with this book, we learned about the frog's life cycle. It starts as an egg. Show me a little tiny egg in your hand. And then out of the egg comes a tadpole. And the tadpole swims and eats and swims and eats. And then the tadpole starts to grow little legs and then little arms. And then its tail falls off. And guess what? It becomes a frog. So interesting. So many interesting things happen to animals and people as we grow. For today, I want you to draw the life cycle of a frog and show me in the comments. I can't wait to see what you draw. We'll talk soon. Bye.